Ahoy, ahoy, you good people. Welcome back to Rickcast. I'm Rick. Let's get right into it. A little bit of X drama, X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, because it's just annoying, but we have to say it every single time. Drama on X. And it really speaks to this thing that's been happening. There's a little bit of a trend that's been taking place, and it's the revealing of the grifting within conservative influencers. And of course, anytime you say grifting, the conservative influencers always clutch their pearls and say, I don't even know what grifting is anymore. You people are crazy. That's because it's rife within there. If you listen to my show, Rickcast, every night at 7 p.m. Eastern, I talk about the grifting culture of most of your conservative influencers. Most conservative influencers, quote unquote, every time I say influencers, I'm not doing air quotes every time, is that they used to be former liberals who flamed out or they weren't accepted by the left. So then they put on a red Make America Great Again hat, and now they're embraced by the right, like an idiot like James Lindsay. Or they pick a certain issue that they know is emotionally attaching to conservative Americans' religion, and then they'll promote that. You can probably think of your favorite influencer there. And that's not to say all influencers are grifters. And I actually don't even mind um, conservative influencers, quote unquote, shilling for a product because men cannot live on bread alone. And if you are going to, if you're going to be doing this for a living, you need to get paid for it. I get that. I do. But my problem with grifters is that they don't disclose it, and they always try to make it as authentic as possible. If you are going to be sponsored by somebody, you got to tell them, or if you're being paid by them, you got to tell people. Most people will take that into account when they take in your opinion. That's how you know somebody's intellectually honest, is if they tell you, listen, man, I'm being, I have been even if you say I have a relationship with these people, this is my point of view. But a lot of them will not do that. They will try to come off as authentic as possible, which I understand. It's slimy, and it's prevalent throughout conservative influencers. See, like Democrats don't have this problem. They don't have an influencer problem because they don't care if their people get paid. And they even try to say like, "Oh, I don't get paid." We all know they do. But Democrats are so embedded in believing the message, they don't care where the source comes from. I mean, whatever, you want to get paid to tell me that, pay me to tell me that's fine. But let's get to this. I'll shut up and bring up this article or this drama that's happened on X. This surfaced, and Nick's a little. I don't know Nick. He's obviously more successful than I am, but this idea that Nick's going to be this crusader against Big Soda when Nick is literally a shill for anything and everything Trump. He's less of a reporter and more of a cheerleader. Everything Trump does is the greatest thing possible every single time. And that's fine. If you want to be a 47 cheerleader, go ahead and be a 47 cheerleader, but don't call yourself a journalist or anything like that. Call yourself cheerleader for Donald Trump. And I don't care. You want to be a cheerleader for Donald Trump? Go ahead and do it. But don't try to call yourself a reporter or a journalist or any of these other kinds of things when you are clearly not, because you're not critical of anything Trump does. And you'll see that in this tweet. But this surfaced this weekend, exposed, influenceable, whatever. The company cutting big checks to influencers on behalf of Big Soda. Over the past 48 hours, several large supposed MAGA aligned influencers, which the whole influencer culture is faking gay, but anyway, posted almost identical talking points fed to them, convincing you the MAHA, which is Make America Healthy Again, was out of line for not wanting soda purchases with food stamps known as SNAP. Now, let me get to this because somebody will find a tweet of mine that I said, I think either Saturday or Sunday, and say you're a grifter too, or I said, hey, if Big Soda wants to cut me a check for promoting it, that's fine. I stand by that. If Big Soda wanted to give me a check to promote Big Soda, I don't care. I would. I'm a nobody, but that's also what we call a joke. Trying to cash in and just be like, hey, if anybody wants to do it, I'll do it. Just to highlight how much of a grift it is. If that makes sense, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll be more than happy to explain myself. But they said, and this is where Nick, he needs to. You want to be all these kind of. You want to go back. You want to be a cheerleader for Trump. That's fine. But this idea that he's like, I'm on scene covering the stories, MSN won't. You're a cheerleader, bro. You're a cheerleader for Trump, and that's fine. Look at you. Some of them slimily invoked President Trump as if he's some kind of religious figure, as an emotional manipulation tactic, referring to his Diet Coke button. Not a single one of them disclosed that they were paid for these posts, which led readers to believe a general soda ban was in the works. Now let's step back for a moment. I'll give you a 30-second. Well, I'll call it an elevator pitch on my idea with this whole thing. If you take government assistance, you should not be able to buy whatever you want. This is different from Social Security, which is something you supposedly paid into. So that's your money. You should have a right to do it, right? It's your money. You need it now. If you are on government assistance and you have the ability to work, you should not have the ability to buy whatever you want. It's that simple. There are videos out there. People are like, I bought this with my food stamps and blah, blah, blah. Nope. Sorry. If you're on government assistance, you should only be able to buy certain things. If you don't, because government assistance is to help you, it is a bridge. Okay, you lost your job, you need some time before you get a new job. That's fine. I don't think anybody really has a problem with it. I mean, I do from a big government standpoint, but I get the emotional manipulation tactic. If you're on it for 6, 8, 12, 24 months, you need to get off of it. You need to get off of it. Okay, there's plenty of jobs out there. They're not glamorous jobs, but what are you looking to do? Right? What are you looking to do with your life? Are you looking to actually contribute to society, or are you looking to suck off the teat of society? It's up to you. There is dignity in work. But this idea that, even if they wanted to say, you can't buy soda with SNAP. Okay. Well, it's my right. If you want that right, you need to make your own money. If you want your right to buy whatever you want, if you work at a bank or you work at a call center, you whatever, and you get your money and you want to blow it on McDonald's and Burger King, go ahead, my brother and sister, you do it. But if you are taking money from taxpayers, well, it's not taxpayers, money that the government is, because the government just funds money. If you're taking money from the government and you're not working and you can clearly work, you can have bread, you can buy eggs, you can buy pasta, you can buy meat, you can buy all the things, and water, milk, or juice, which you could argue juice is not really that great of an idea, but still, this whole thing as like, oh, I should have the freedom to do so. You can have the freedom to do so. Absolutely, you can have the freedom to do so. You just have to be able to understand that if somebody else is paying for it, then your freedom is revoked, right? If some of you may remember, if your parents used to give you allowance or whatever, they say you can't spend it on this, you can only spend it on that. My dad, when he first gave me a credit card when I was like 16 or 17, we had a joint credit card. He's like, you can only use this for gas. You can't use it for anything else. You can only use it for gas. And I did. I didn't go out and spend it on stupid things or do all this other kind of stuff because my father said, this is only for this. Same thing with SNAP. So that's my elevator pitch on that. I don't think you should be using government money to buy whatever you want. But this whole thing is just such a fake outrage because apparently Clown World, Eric Dodry, not Jerome Powell, and of course the biggest friggin' fake, phony conservative guy from Malaysia who's not even American, Ian Miles Chong, who can we boot this guy out of conservative circles? Another example of a loser that is shaping conservative policy. Why is he? He's not even American. How is this fat idiot in Malaysia able to influence American politics? But anyway, I'm about to go off on a rant. This video is almost too long as it is. And so all of them say essentially, government wants to block soda purchases from Americans on SNAP. Remember when New York City tried this and completely backfired? President Trump probably had a Diet Coke button in his Oval Office. This is a ridiculous government overreach. Let people decide for themselves, right? And everybody says it, blah, 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 blah. And, a lot of other influencers or a lot of other conservatives were trying to be like, oh, look, the quartering, huge respect for him. He'll call out, hey, these people pay me, so I don't care. Jeremy can call out whoever he wants to. He's earned that right. And then you have these people, everybody who's faking this outrage about, I'm so disappointed that conservative. Listen, bro, most of you do. And if I ever do take one, I will proudly have it behind me and I will tell you. And that way, when I give my opinion, you will say, oh, well, Rick is, he's sponsored by Big Soda and that's why he's saying this. As long as you disclose it, I don't care if somebody pays you. Doesn't bother me, right? This idea that these people are like, oh, well, they're taking money. Every single one of these people, Nick Soder is taking money from Twitter. So it behooves him to have a certain narrative, and he doesn't call out Twitter, and he doesn't call out President Trump, and he doesn't call out people because it gives him a financial interest not to. Do you see how I'm trying to say with these people? It's ridiculous that they're trying to stand on their high horse. Oh, I can't believe these. All of you do. All of you do. At least be, at least be man enough in this case for guys like Nick Soder and others to tell people instead of acting like you're objective, because you're obviously not. I hope you all enjoy the video. I'll talk to y'all soon.